7 weeks out, see how it goes, but I'm not gonna kill this workout. It's time to get down to business. I saw some pictures of some guys that are competing in the same show as me, and let's just say I'm gonna be the youngest one probably again. So I'm gonna have to bring in my best physique possible if I even want to place. Alright guys, so this is about to be my posing and physique update. I'm 7 weeks out, 18 years old, natural bodybuilder, men's physique competition, and my posing is a little off, but keep in mind this isn't my actual posing routine, and that's going to be a surprise. This is just pure practice. So let's get right into it, guys. Welcome to the chest and back workout, Arnold style workout, where every single set of sets, or I guess rounds, I'm supersetting a chest exercise with a back exercise. First one right off the bat is going to be this incline bench press. This is with the Smith machine. To be honest with you, I do the Smith machine about every 3 to 4 workouts, just to kind of reduce the stabilizer tension that I have. Basically, every time I do something like a flat bench or a overhead press, my shoulders tend to hurt just due to some previous injuries and stuff. So I always give a break from it. And when I do Smith machine, it's just pure time under tension, directly related blood flow right to the chest or whatever I'm using it for. Supersetted this with lat pull downs. Now I don't go too wide because that just shortens the range of motion, and I don't go too narrow because then it doesn't really hit the lats. You gotta find a happy medium where your hands feel the most comfortable, pulling directly towards like the upper to middle chest, and not swinging too far back, just getting a nice, like, as Chris Jones says, a nice like gangster lean when you're doing it. But I did 3 to 4 sets of everything. It's not just like I just recorded all my sets. I definitely did at least 3 sets on each exercise, even the ones where my third set, it was a struggle to get that last rep up. I still either reduced the weight a little or just kept the weight and went for that 4th set. So really pushing this workout. Had a lot to think about. Like I said in the previous clip, I saw those guys that they were a lot bigger than me, just because they've been lifting for 6 or more years than I have, and you can only do so much with that. So definitely got to bring the best package possible. So really just grinding right now. And it's a pretty good shot of my back. You can kind of see how my V-taper has definitely improved since the start of my bulk, if you guys have been following me that long. But yeah, so definitely a good workout. Highly suggest a chest and back routine, just because as you're working out your back exercise, you're stretching out your chest, and as you're doing your chest exercises, you're stretching out your back. So it's just really optimal, and the fact that it's 2 pretty large muscle groups, you're definitely going to be burning more calories, so it's awesome on a deficit or while you're cutting. And I didn't even go too heavy in this workout. So as far as the bench presses go, and even the dumbbell presses you'll see later on, or any back exercises, I didn't go super heavy because, quite frankly, it was so high volume that I really I didn't have that much energy to put out for that workout. Like, no matter how hard I tried, the weights that are normally like a decent working set but not a max felt like it was my max weight, and that's just due to high volume. And I did, if you think about it, I probably did at least 12 to 15 different exercises, and 3 to 4 sets each. So that's a lot of sets. And as far as rep ranges go, for all chest exercises, I did not do anything less than 8 reps. Usually kept it around 10 to 12. And for things that were more like the close grip dumbbell press we've seen a little while, I did more closer to 15 reps, but mainly 8 to 12 reps. And then for back, I always like to go a little higher rep ranges, so 10 to 15 reps, usually right around 12 for every exercise. Most times, guys, I don't even count reps. So a lot of people that ask me for rep ranges and stuff, I don't really count reps, because if I do 10 reps, because I'm supposed to do 10 reps, but I could have gotten 12, I feel like it's a waste. You want to make sure you're actually feeling your workouts. You don't want to just sit there and, just do the workout and not be fully developed into it. You got to pull or push, or even if you're doing legs or anything, you got to feel the pump. You got to feel like you're working. You can't just do things to do it just because you said you're going to do 10 reps. That doesn't mean you have to. You can do 12. So that's what I think about rep ranges. This was a close grip dumbbell press on the I'd put the bench on an incline, just because my upper chest is the thing I want to target. If you have a bigger upper chest, your whole chest just naturally looks better, and that's just common sense. If you look at someone with a weak upper chest, their chest looks small. No matter how big it actually is, it's always gonna look small. And so these are really good. This kind of just like target the total like outline of your chest. It's the weirdest thing. It like misses directly in the middle, and it just like cuts around, has like a square around your pecs. That's what it feels like. But awesome exercise. And then this right here is the lat push down. I really like this exercise. I put this on Instagram a while back. Fix my hand grip right there. But a lot of people like to stand straight up and do it, but you get a better range of motion. And I don't see many people doing it like this, and I don't know why. If you kind of stand back and bend your knees a little bit and kind of lean forward and pull it towards your waistline, much better range of motion. Keep your elbows at like a certain angle and don't change it. That goes for a lot of exercises. It limits your basically the effect your arms are having in the exercise, so you can actually feel it with the correct muscles. And a little tip with this exercise right here, at the top of the movement, as you're squeezing your chest, which you should be, always squeeze the body part you're using throughout the whole movement. Basically from the time you touch the weight to the time you drop it, you should be squeezing the muscle. Let's put it that way. You should obviously be breathing and contracting, but definitely be squeezing the muscle as hard as you can. That's how it's going to grow and develop. But basically with the dumbbell press, once you reach the top, do like a little, not like the song, but like flick your wrist a little. Either push it up towards the bottom of your wrist or push it up towards the top of your wrist, if you know what I'm saying. So either rotate it up or rotate it the opposite direction, but still up. It's kind of hard to say without a visual, but maybe I'll put it in another video if you know what I'm saying. But just change up the angles of the dumbbells at the top of the exercise, and it'll kind of just like stimulate your chest in a different way. So you might be able to see it here. I don't really do it that exaggerated, but just a little bit of a nudge at the top, and it's just enough to really change the whole exercise up. So like even with the dumbbells, I wasn't going too heavy, just keeping it around. I think I started with like 35s and I stopped with like 60s. So nothing crazy at all, but my strength is definitely going down some. I have noticed that. I am around 25 pounds lighter than I was when I was bulking. But see that V-taper, guys? It's coming in. But it's weird seeing yourself on camera sometimes, because you look in the mirror and you always see the same thing. You don't really see your back. You don't really see, like, I don't know. It's just it's cool recording yourself because you can see different things. But here we have the seated chest flies, or the pec flies, and basically you're gonna want to grab the handles and keep your elbows in a certain angle, just like I was saying in the other exercises. It's very common, and you want to squeeze it together. And once you get to where your hands are almost touching, don't necessarily let them touch. If they do, it's fine, but try not to do that. Don't like grab your hands to make it easier. Hold it and squeeze and just flex your chest as hard as you can, and then hold that flex as you bring the handles back towards the starting position. So you always want to hold the flex. And right here I supersetted it with the seated reverse flies. This is going to help work your back, your rear delts. It's gonna help develop your traps. It's a lot that goes into this one. It's very hard to do. You have to find. It's not hard to do. It's hard to do it well. You have to find the right seat position. I myself don't do everything like textbook wise. You don't have to. Honestly, in my opinion, there is no such thing as perfect form. No matter how much people say there is, even on the compound lifts, there really isn't. You have to be able to find the way the form feels most comfortable to you. You know, I might do things a little different than most people do it, but I'm gonna feel it in that muscle group better that way. You know, everyone's built differently. Everyone feels things differently. So It's just a matter of figuring out what your personal best form is versus what the textbook says best form would be. So for example, for these flies right here, when I pull them back, I like to arch my chest up as I lift it back. Not a lot, but just a little bit. And that allows me to kind of flex the center of my back a little more. And it's definitely working, because right after this exercise, I looked in the mirror and I had like 3 or 4 lat veins poking out. And by the end of this whole entire workout, I've never seen so many veins in my lats. I didn't even know that I had veins back there. So definitely getting lean in the areas I'm not used to. I hold most of my fat in like my back and like on my I guess like hamstrings as far as lower body goes, and then upper body would definitely be like back and like hips, like I guess love handles or whatever. Definitely hold most of my fat there. And then I mean random spots too, like forearms and stuff, weird stuff. But so back to talking about the chest workout. Arnold popularized these. They weren't really, everyone always says like Arnold style chest and back exercises, which is freaking crazy to think that. That's like saying like, hey, I want to go do a Ronnie Coleman leg day. Like, it's just like a common day. I don't know. It's so crazy that someone could basically have his name behind a certain type of workout. That's remarkable. That's goals right there. But this set was kind of like a mega set where I did normal chest flies, and then I scooted over to the side, brought the handles back a little more to get a wider range of motion, and then kind of hit my inner chest by just doing the single arm flies. And then to finish it off, I just did the reverse flies once again. And rocking that Gymshark, that half camo, half black tank top. It's freaking awesome. It's so comfortable. I would say the only thing I don't like about it is the tag on the back of the neck is pretty itchy. I could cut it off, but I don't know. I don't want to ruin it. But definitely a comfortable tank top. Length is really cool. But right here, I'm doing the flat bench press on the Smith machine. Once again, doing all Smith machine presses in this workout, just because my shoulders have been bothering me a little bit, and I want to kind of like give my stabilizers and give my shoulders more of a rest. And with this type of push, you can definitely just target directly your chest. Honestly, I love the way the Smith machine squeezes. Everyone always makes fun of the Smith machine, but and I really understand what they're saying, because I mean, there's no really point in doing it every single time. That's just kind of just like making it a little easier for yourself. But every once in a while, if you really know how to squeeze your body parts that you should be squeezing when you're working out, it could really change up your workout routine a lot. That's why you see guys like Big Ramy and really huge popular guys always doing Smith machine. I'm pretty sure they do it more than they do regular flat bench, because I mean, if you're in it for the physique, the way you look, you don't need to worry about strength or compound lifts. That's just for your personal taste, if you like doing those, or if you have powerlifting goals or anything like that. If you're just trying to build overall, you just need blood in the muscle. You don't really need to worry about things like that. But this right here is the seated cable fly. A lot of people grab it in the middle of the handle. I like to grab it towards the top and put my thumbs over the top. It just allows my hands to not slip off of it as much. And this gym has chalk, which I keep forgetting to start using. I've never used chalk before, but so it should definitely change things up as far as grip goes, because I don't have that great of grip. But as you saw right before I got on this bench, I put my feet on the bottom and I pushed myself up, and I kind of just dug the top of my back, or my traps and everything, right into the bench so I could retract my scapula in order to bench correctly. If you're benching correctly, you should have your feet flat on the ground, not just your toes or anything, and kind of have it so that your knees are positioned a little angled towards your toes more. And having a little arch in your back, but keeping your butt on the bench is huge. A lot of people, when they go too heavy, their butt lifts off, and that's completely incorrect, and that's not good at all. You need to have your butt on the bench, slight arch in the lower back, scapula retracted, and upper back dug right into the bench, and focusing on your chest, making sure your elbows aren't too wide, flaring out, also not too narrow. So there's a lot that goes into benching. That's why, some people avoid it, because it's just like so much form and not as much focusing on really just getting the pump, because you have to worry about so much other stuff. But yeah, not even worried about the weight or the basically how strong I was during this workout. I wasn't too concerned about lifting heavy. Right here is what, like 255, if I'm even doing that math right, on the Smith machine. So it's really not as hard as normal 255 would be. My normal bench max, when I was bulking, was 335, and usually like average bulk, like a little lean on the leaner side. My max is like 315. So I'm not even that strong of a lifter, not even nowhere near my goals to be stronger. But yeah, anyway, this superset's really good. I enjoy doing all these supersets just because it really wears you out. I don't like going into the gym aimlessly, like some people do. They kind of just go in with an idea of what they're going to do in their head. I usually have no idea or clue what I want to do. All I usually know when I go into the gym is, all right, I want to do chest today, or I want to do legs today. That's usually all I know. I don't know what rep ranges or what set schemes, or if I'm doing drop sets. I don't know what exercise I'm doing or what anything. I don't plan any of that stuff. Most people want to have a routine and everything, but when it comes down to it, no matter how good a routine is, if you still have more gas in the tank, you still need to keep going. Like anyone that's upper level and like physique wise or anything like that will say the same thing. You know, set routines are good for kind of just like cutting out all the guesswork, but it's not good when it comes to pushing yourself. So right there, I did some bent over rows. That little machine is in a lot of gyms, so if you have it, definitely use it. It's a lot different from the barbell rows, especially because you have two options of which direction you want to face while you're standing there. I chose the one that most people wouldn't choose, and it's really just because that angle and the way it feels is a feeling in your back that you won't get from most exercises. It's like an awkward pump, but it's like unique in its own way. Like you won't feel that in that area by doing a cable row or any type of row at all. It's like, it's a weird like pull down type feeling while you're rowing. I don't even know how to describe it. Give it a shot. You don't have to go super heavy. I only threw on a 45-pound plate on each side. But yeah, that angle is good. You could also stand the other way and it feels perfectly fine. But just a good switch up from a barbell row or any type of bent over row. Superset this was push-ups till almost failure. Now it looks like I'm doing like half reps, and it's because technically I sort of am, more than half, but I don't lock out on most exercises just to kind of save my elbows. And that's a lot of people. It's not just me. You know, powerlifters and stuff usually have to lock out. But if I'm doing multiple reps of a decent weight, day after day after day, I need to take concern about my joints, my elbows, and things like that. So I don't always lock out, and most bodybuilders and everything like that, they usually go close to the top of the rep and close to the bottom of the rep. They don't always really just like go all the way up and all the way down. So keep that in mind. But right here were some reverse cable crossovers. I supersetted this with dumbbell flies. With the dumbbell flies, basically the key with the form is when you're squeezing it all the way at the top, hold that squeeze and keep it as you bring the dumbbells back down. So you don't want to really lock, you don't want to have your arms straight out and with your elbows completely flattened out. Have them slightly bent at a good angle, kind of like what I'm doing. And you can rotate your wrists somewhat. I like to kind of bring the far side of my palms closer together as I get to the peak of the movement. And that's really just to kind of contract the chest in a different way. It feels more of like an overall chest feeling. The incline is just there because I was doing flat flies, so I just wanted to give it a different variation. But with these cable crosses, the thing you have to really kind of, I guess over time you'll understand, the positioning of the cable does matter, but everyone's different. Like for me, I like having the cable up higher than most people, and most people would argue and say that it hits more rear delts, which technically it should. But with the way I'm built or the way I grab it or anything like that, I don't know what it is, but I feel it much more in my back if they'll higher it up. And the weird part is when it's lower, I actually feel that in my rear delts more. So little thing different with me. I don't know why, but that's just how it is. Like I said, there's no such thing as perfect form. You just have to figure out how to do all the exercises safely and how to execute the muscle you're supposed to be using at its most optimal level. So just keep that in mind. Next exercise were these close grip lat pull downs. You want to pull this towards your chest, like your upper chest or your middle chest, depending like the center of your chest, depending on how you are built. Same thing. Figure out a way to make it feel comfortable, make it feel like it's working the part of your back it should be. And then I supersetted this with the low to high cable flies. Little tip with this is try to find the cables that aren't really wide apart. Something like this where it's like the half the machine, if you know what I mean. That's a good one because they're closer together, allowing you not to use so much of your shoulders and using more of your chest versus anything else. Still keeping the weight at a decent level. That was a good 8 to 12, maybe even a little higher rep range of a difficult set. Not maxing out, not making it so that, yeah, I did 15 reps and it wasn't hard the whole time. Really good, basically find a weight that's hard for you but doable. So always challenge yourself. See the veins popping out in my arms a little bit. So that's always interesting to see as you get leaner, some new veins and things that you didn't have previously on the cut before this one. But yeah, just pumping out any extra reps I could. I was almost completely fatigued at this point. This workout was super intense, and like I said, I wasn't feeling too strong this day. And this machine right here is pretty cool. It's like a double machine. The last time I saw this close grip, this reverse grip plate loaded pull down was when I was in high school. That was the only other gym I've seen with it, and I really liked it. It was my favorite machine at the time, so I definitely had to use it this workout. It hits your lats in a way that you will always remember. Like it's like one of those machines that once you do it once, every workout you're going to want to use it. But it's great because right on the opposite side of that seat, the machine's connected. It's actually utilizing the same plates and everything. You see the handles going down in the back to a incline chest press. And I like this one a lot because of the fact that it feels different from a bench due to the angle of the handles and the angle of, see how it's like it goes wider as it gets down. It kind of hits your chest differently that you can't really do normally. But this one right here is the single arm cable row, and just make sure you're doing this correctly. Don't throw your back out or anything like that. It's really good exercise if you do it right. I always do it. But basically, this is going to conclude the video, guys. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, comment below or email me at zmcadam@yahoo.com. All online coaching and newsletters available on zachmcadam.com. Thank you for watching.